Pass Fast. We deliver food, cash, cargo, and more. Pass Fast.
Here's your weekly SunStar Baguio Newsbits. A look at this week's headlines. List agree to border control. Tourist arrivals in Baguio hit 10,000 mark. Tourism heads cry foul over Octa research. Mass testing eyed in Benguet. Case against POSD looms. And in sports, Kingad squares off versus former world champ. And for the details. Medical clearances will now be valid until December 4, the end of the border control policy imposed by Baguio City. This report from Loren Alimondo.
This was one of the key points discussed during a closed-door meeting of Baguio, La Trindad, Itogon, Sablan, Tuba, Tublay, or Blist mayors at the Baguio Convention Center. The meeting was attended by Baguio Mayor Benjamin Magalong, La Trindad Mayor Romulo, Itogon Mayor Victoria Palangdan, Sablan Mayor Manuel Munar Jr., Tuba Mayor Clarita Salongan, Tublay Mayor Armando Lauro, together with the National Economic Development Authority Cordillera Regional Director Milagros Remando. Magalong said they were able to clarify issues and misunderstandings and they will continue to implement the border control. Salda meanwhile said it was a fruitful meeting wherein mayors were able to express their emotions, feelings, and sentiments. The mayor added stakeholders who were able to get medical clearance no longer need to obtain a new clearance after 5 days, as required in the city's earlier advisory. Lauren Alimondo, SunStar Baguio.
The tourism office disclosed Baguio City has breached the 10,000 mark for tourist arrivals since its gradual opening in September. This report from Joven Peralta.
The gradual opening was marked during the Charter Day celebration of Baguio City on September 1. Mayor Benjamin Magalong, Department of Tourism Secretary Berna, Romulo, Puyat, and officials from the neighboring provinces of Pangasinan, La Union, Ilocos Sur, and Ilocos Norte inked an agreement to open tourism on September 21. The summer capital has also started welcoming tourists from Metro Manila, Cagayan Valley, and Central Luzon on October 22. Tourism Officer Engineer Alec Mapalo said, just after a month, they recorded 3,992 Visita-approved travels and online registration of 6,567 business or work-related travels. He added the figures of Baguio's tourist arrivals top tourist destinations such as Boracay, Bohol, or Ilocos. Records from the Baguio Tourism Office show 518 accommodation establishments with over 4,000 employees affected, not counting the food and beverage sector and the creative industry. Joven Peralta, SunStar Baguio.
Tourism stakeholders in Baguio City recently cried foul over the recent Octa research, placing the city as one of the high-risk areas for COVID-19 infection. Gladys Vergara, chairperson of the Baguio Tourism Council or BTC, with Vice Chair Anthony De Leon, who likewise sits as chair of the Hotel and Restaurant Association of Baguio or HRAB, this week appealed for collaboration amid the continuing pandemic. BTC and HRAB in a statement said stakeholders of the local tourism industry, which has been badly hit by the continuing pandemic, expressing grave concern over the reportage and conveyed out-of-context interpretation. Both groups added they have suffered deeply and will suffer more if domestic travelers and tourists are misled into believing that Baguio is unsafe. Vergara and De Leon lamented reportage on the independent Octa research study, adding proper due diligence would have easily contextualized the survey findings in reference to why a surge in cases took place at survey time and indeed what is taking place today. The statement added, the Baguio City Health and Services Office reported as of November 18, the number of cases decreased by 17.26%, while recovery has gone up by 81.34%. We'll be back after a short break.
Bawal magkabit ng antena sa ilalim o malapit sa linya ng kuryente dahil maaari kayong makuryente. Lubhang mapanganib yan dahil ang mismong pagtatayo ng bahay o anumang istruktura malapit sa linya ay pinagbabawal din. Dahil sa lakas ng kuryenteng dumadaloy sa linyang ito, ang paglapit at pagdikit ng anumang bagay na hawak ng tao tulad ng bakal, kahoy o kawayan ay maaaring maging sanhi ng aksidente o pagkamatay. Ang paalalang ito ay mula po sa NGCP.
The health department in the Cordillera region is planning for a massive testing for COVID-19 in Benguet. This report from Jonathan Yanes.
Dr. Ruby Constantino, DOH CAR Regional Director, explained the move was in response to a recent meeting of the Regional Interagency Task Force for COVID as a preventive measure in stopping the possible spread of the virus. As of last week, another plan to conduct an aggressive COVID-19 testing in the towns of Itogon, Tuba, and La Trinidad in Benguet Province have been expressed, to which 5,000 testing kits will be provided. DOH CAR have coordinated with Oplan Kalinga to assure the presence of isolation facilities once the province has additional positive cases. Meanwhile, DOH CAR continues to support local government units who strictly enforces border controls to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Jonathan Llanes, SunStar Baguio.
A case against the city's Public Order and Safety Division or POSD personnel is being readied by Madino Codasi, the visually impaired man accosted and fined for jaywalking last week. This report from Joven Peralta.
Councilor Arthur Aladiu said a consultation with Codasi over what is described to be inhumane treatment from POSD personnel has pushed the legislator to ask for a full council investigation of the incident and a review of engagement procedure of the division mandated to protect the public. The lawmaker in a statement said he is convinced Codasi is blind and all he can see are shapes. Aladiu, an advocate of PWD rights, invites Codasi and the POSD in the regular council session next week to shed light on the matter in the hope to give justice and craft legislation to prevent similar incidents in the future. He added a group of lawyers have volunteered to take on the case of Codasi. Joven Peralta, SunStar Baguio.
And in sports, Danny Kingad will face another tough test as he gets to see action in One Championship's Big Bang on December 4 at the Singapore Indoor Stadium. In a live broadcast, the former world title contender from Team Lakay is booked against former one flyweight world champion Kairat Akhmetov of Kazakhstan. The 33-year-old Akhmetov from Almaty, Kazakhstan, threw heaps of praises towards Kingad ahead of their highly anticipated flyweight bout, adding, before he locks horns with the Filipino top flyweight, he took the time to study his opponent and offer his take on their impending showdown. Kingad is one of the Philippines' finest young martial arts talents and has won 7 of his last 8 contests. He was supposed to meet Akhmetov in the semi-final round, but with the latter being injured, Australia's Reece McLaren stepped. The Filipino overcame a tough challenge from McLaren to earn a date with former UFC legend Demetrius Johnson, whom he lost to in the final round. All the while, Akhmetov has been watching from the sidelines as Kingad put together a fantastic run. After a long wait to face Kingad, Akhmetov is relieved he can now finally meet the Team Lakay fighter in the circle so they can settle their unfinished business once and for all. The main card of the event is headlined by reigning one light heavyweight kickboxing world champion Roman Kriklia of the Ukraine, defending his title against Murat Aygun of Turkey and the Netherlands. Congratulations to this week's winner of a pancit overload from La Cocina Den. Join us again next week as we continue with our Facebook contest and get a chance to win exclusive SunStar Baguio merchandise, a SunStar Baguio mug, a SunStar Baguio face mask, and more. For more updates, visit us at our website and our official social media accounts. Working from home in Baguio City, this is Conway Copas, reminding you to grab a copy of SunStar Baguio, the only daily newspaper in Northern Luzon.